Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, we're going to talk about the Saida dilemma because I wanted to release Saida's pull or skip video today, but I realized that there's more that meets the eye for her in terms of how she can be used, and because of her current performance for Crystal Beetle, I guess my opinions of her has changed slightly. But still, I'm gonna just talk briefly about it and leave the overall analysis for a pull or skip video tomorrow or 2 days later because I want to see more of her first. So Puzzle actually showcased the damage output of the Saida for this boss fight. So I do have my own records of all the different damage. So primarily, if I were to hyper buffer up, is able to go up to this range. So it's nowhere close to Saida's damage output, and Saida is without a doubt the best unit for this boss fight with her mechanics, because for this boss itself, Saida's able to drain the boss energy, is able to root the boss in place to prevent the boss from sucking energy from the ore, and then reduce the impact of Crystal Crawler skills so that your units can do more damage. So that's why Saida is insanely good for Crystal Crawler. And with most Primal Lords, they have a history of becoming the Dream Realm bosses. So in fact, I think most of the Dream Realm bosses became, most of the Primal Lords became Dream Realm bosses. Like, for example, Lone Gaze, the very first Primal Lord. Chris Shellbrute is another Primal Lord. Crystal Beetle was also one of the first few Primal Lords. Talassa is also one of the Primal Lords. Even Plague Creeper and Northern Judicator, they were Primal Lords at some time. So, like, a lot of this Primal Lords become Dream Realm boss. So what this means is Crystal Crawler will eventually become a Dream Realm boss. Like, we don't know when, but if Saida is the best for this boss fight mechanically, chances are she's going to be the best for this boss fight when the boss actually appears on Dream Realm. So she's going to be in that meta slot that you want to sort of get to get your top positions if you're spending in the game. But at the same time, looking at Crystal Crawler, other than Crystal Crawler, I honestly don't see how Saida can be better for other bosses. So if you're investing in Saida, it's strictly for Crystal Crawler. It's strictly for the energy draining mechanics. So this is where the next set of ideas actually came to me. It's like, what if the next season they actually introduce a boss where Saida's draining mechanic or Saida's rooting mechanic is insanely busted, right? There could be this possibility. So if you were to base it off Saida's future potential, there is a possibility that she's going to be a meta unit in terms of usage across the board in AFK stages, Dream Realm, bossing, and even PvP, right? But right now, if you were to base it off her current performance right now, I think outside of Crystal Crawler, she's still a relatively, I'll say, like, expensive investment. Like, right now, I do have a 1-copy Saida. So I wanted to test out how impactful was Saida's ultimate only, because the ultimate drain energy at a fixed value anyway. So, like, it doesn't make my damage a lot better. So I don't think the draining part was the key card why Saida is good, because Saida did a lot of damage with the EX weapon stacking right here, as you guys can see, together with the rooting ability to root the boss in place for 45 seconds. So this is actually what I feel is the more important part, because like this part basically stops the boss from draining the energy from the ore and then maximize your damage from there. So there's that. And on top of that, another thing for Saida is not only is she expensive, she's also, I'll say, quite niche in terms of like even the PvP teams itself, because like you can definitely fit her into multiple teams, but she's definitely the strongest in immortal teams, and you probably need to build a team around her to make her the carry, right? Because if you don't build a team around her, she's easily countered by Rush, she's easily countered by Shamira just like spamming the ultimate, and she is also counterable with Cryonaya and all the insta kill removal kind of unit in a current meta game. So that's why like Saida is, I'll say, quite expensive. And like if you were to invest in her for Crystal Crawler, then chances are is you have a lot of resources and you want to get the top position no matter what. So that's with regards to my opinions of Crystal Crawler. If you are free to play or lower on resources, personally speaking, I think you can hold on to investing into her yet, because like as much as her mechanic is good for Crystal Crawler right here, she might not be the best damage wise. She might not get the most optimal bossing damage chumps for her to be in the best damage team for Crystal Crawler at the end of the day. So like personally speaking, my free to play account is not going to commit for Saida for Primal Lord. My main account with a lot of resources, yes, I'll do that because I kind of want to get the best position for Crystal Crawler. So depending on your current situation and how much you value Primal Lord and how much you think Primal Lord, Crystal Crawler will become the Dream Realm boss in the future, and Saida will get a massive buff. You can commit to her based on your own needs itself. So that's what I'm trying to say. I think she's a good unit. And like, if you were to look at her from another perspective, if the game does want to make her better, all you gotta do is just introduce more boss mechanics like Crystal Crawler, because there's not many units that can energy drain and control at the same time. So just having like all these different mechanics put into one unit to make her good, I think will push her to meta level if the unit is one of the Dream Realm bosses itself. So Crystal Crawler +1 maybe. So that's pretty much it for this video. Just a simple discussion of the Saida dilemma. The reason why I decided to make this is because previously Saida, to be honest, I would say not very good, right? But with all this popping out of results and the potential that she could be good in the future, I guess the opinions has changed, and I try to talk about who should go for her now and how good she is at the lower tier, so that you guys can consider whether or not you want to go for her first. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.